I can hear you a little bit better now that your video's off. That's great. Um, so let's just recap a little bit. So this practice for you was a living hell, and you detailed some specific techniques about body scanning, about uh, eating only twice a day, about some other specific techniques about like just delving into your personal stuck mind. You don't have your phone, you don't have anything with you except just you, your consciousness, and your mind. And you have to learn how to use those three together to get through what you described as a personal hell. Right. Yeah, totally. I can totally relate. Like I don't I recently went on a pilgrimage to Japan. And yeah, I you saw some of the pictures on Facebook. Like I've been sharing it and bragging about it for months now. And it was one of the hardest things I've done in a long time. I got very sick afterwards just from not being prepared for how powerful this experience would be. And it's one of those things where, and I'm sure you could relate to this part of it, where in that journey, when you're going that far towards the edge, you have to heal from that. You have to recover from that because you're cutting open wounds to bleed out some illness that you have, spiritual illness within you. Right. So for that, I have two questions then. Do you suppose there is an analogy we could make to describe what we're doing here? And number two, how do you not fall into the trap of one, nihilism, and two, solipsism? Right, right. Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, like I I never had words to put to it, but I've experienced some things like that in the past myself. Where you just lose all touch and become nothing and perceiving everything simultaneously. Like the yin and the yang. You're both at the same time and you're within both at the same time. Sure. That reminds me of a lot. You said it's like doing neurosurgery for 10 days straight. That reminds me a lot of my first experience with the plant medicine DMT. Because I described it to my brother immediately the day after I did the experience, and I told him it was like having expert alien neurosurgeons in my brain fixing all the shit that I fucked up, all the shit that I'm attached to, and just snipping away and just doing their job. And I can imagine if you take that experience and you consciously explore that, because what's the difference, right? Doing it through this facilitated mean or doing it from your own willpower. And the benefit of doing it with your own willpower is, like you said, you get 10 days as opposed to 15 minutes. Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely the case for me as well, where now once I was introduced to these types of entities, and like with our sessions when you did hypnotherapy for me, we met some of my past lives. We went into my childhood. We explored my higher self in a big way, you know. And I feel like, and that was just between you and me. No drugs were involved. No substances. No plant medicines. No eye drops. No nothing. And I attribute that to having met these entities before. And I also feel like I would have met them regardless of what journey I took. And that tickles my that part of my brain where it's like, oh yeah, that is kind of how it works, isn't it? Like if you take just simple principles of quantum mechanics and stuff like that, that's how it plays out. Right. And here's what this just one thing before we go is here's what I struggle with is you can't interpret that for other people either. They have to experience it in the purest form they can. You can't take a quote and you can't apply it to somebody's situation. They still won't get it until they're ready.